I always believed in Jake Moody. Good morning. Welcome to the best 49ers show. That's Ryan G. Hensley. I'm Grant Cohn. Made it back to the Bay Area last night. That's one of the nice things about games on the West Coast. You can just get the hell out, which is, sleep at home. Now we're rested, and we've had a lot of time to think about what's going on. It's an important time. It's a very important, as Nick Bosa would say, it's a very important time for the 49ers. So let's start with the rookies. Most of them didn't play last night. But overall, the totality of this offseason, which rookies have impressed you the most so far?
Well, I got to say Siegel has impressed me the most out of all of them. He looks like he should definitely be a starter from day one. I don't see another safety that taking his place. I like the combination of Malik Mustafa and Siegel. And by the way, from my understanding, what was told to me, Mustafa will be back no later than week 5 against the Rams. So week 5, we could have Siegel and Mustafa, Eminem, Malik, and Malik or Marquise, Eminem. That's the candy in the back. I like it, man. I'm excited about Siegel. I have more, but that's the main one.
I like Siegel too. I think it's pretty rough when he's not on the field and or when Malik Mustafa's on the field, they have Jair Brown out there. He just gets picked on. I feel bad for him at this point. Like the first pass of the game went to him. It was Brock Bowers for like 30 yards. Brock Bowers isn't an all-pro player, and Jair Brown isn't. And the coverage wasn't awful, but yeah, it needs to be Siegel and Mustafa. My question is, how do they complement each other? They seem very similar. Guys who run and hit hard, really good tacklers, really fast, violent players. Which one is better in coverage? Which one would you rather have covered a tight end? I felt like Mustafa's a little maybe short for that assignment. Is Mustafa the free safety? Is Siegel the strong safety? That's kind of how I see it, maybe. But they're both really good at it. They're going to make the defense a lot faster.
I mean, with the Niners, it doesn't really matter, I don't think, as much what position necessarily you're playing. They kind of, at least in the past, they've asked you to do both. For whatever reason, I don't know what it is. And maybe it's because Malik's short and stout like a teapot, but the dude, he actually has the best cover rating out of all safety, like maybe rookie safeties last year or all safeties, something crazy. He had a really high coverage coverage rating last year. For some reason, he gets this reputation that he can't cover, but Malik can absolutely cover. And I think with Siegel's speed, both of them are burners, man. So I think whatever they need to improve on in coverage, they can with that speed and with their talent. So I know they're very similar, but I think that's a good thing. And I think both are a little underrated as coverage safeties.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the Deshaun Goldson, Dante Whitner pairing from like 15 years ago. Cause like neither one was really a guy you'd want man to man on a tight end or really on anyone, but just playing half a field, they were devastating. They would knock you out if you came in their area. And I feel like that's what Siegel and Mustafa are going to be like. And as far as who covers the tight end, I mean, Robert Saleh could probably get pretty creative with that. They have a lot of options, and maybe one of those guys could do it. I just haven't seen really what Siegel can do in man-to-man coverage yet. I'm not saying he can't, but I'm curious to see if he gives you that, like, because that's what Jimmy Ward could do on top of all of his great tackling as well.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to seeing Upton Stout at nickel. Something we haven't seen yet.
It's too bad we haven't gotten to see him in the preseason yet. That's rough.
Yeah, because everybody's just talking. He was looking like the best player in practice, and out of all the rookies, and we haven't seen it. At least I haven't seen. I know you've seen it, but we haven't seen it. And I think that combination with him at nickel, and
we've seen glimpses though, because they don't really tackle in practice, and it was really nice. It was going to be nice to see it in live action, and so far it's been Siegel's the one who's been able to display it, and I think Stout should too. What's cool about Stout is he plays like a linebacker. He hits like a linebacker, and as a nickelback, you kind of are a linebacker. And with Robert Saleh picking these plays, I always trust his evaluations on that second level of the defense. I think he's kind of a genius there.
Yeah, you know what else is cool is I was thinking about is Diamador Lenore is the vet on this DB room. So what I'm saying is they're all young. Like Diamador is young. Renardo Green is young. Stout. Siegel, Malik Mustafa, like this could be a solid DB unit for years to come, and they're only going to get better as time goes on.
I think it's interesting that we're talking about rookies. Like Michael Williams and Alfred Collins. Michael Williams hasn't had a chance. He's been hurt, hasn't played in the preseason. Alfred Collins hasn't been the most impressive of the. He's got a ways to go. I mean, really, I'm a little concerned about Alfred Collins. And a minute ago, I said Salah's a genius at the second level of the defense. I don't know about the first level though. He drafted Javon Kinlaw. He drafted Solomon Thomas. And now they got Alfred Collins, who's a lot like Javon Kinlaw, maybe not as good. So I do have some questions there.
It's weird to me how similar he is to Kinlaw, and then the main problem that he has with Kinlaw, I thought it was maybe his knees was preventing him from getting his pad level low. I don't know what it is for Alfred Collins, but it seems like such a simple fix, right? Like to just teach yourself to get your pads down low. Like the leverage is what wins the game. I mean, he's a monster. He's a big ass dude. If he could just get his pads low, I think he would be a much better player. And it's hard for me to understand why nobody. I mean, I'm sure everybody, every coach at every level has told Alfred Collins to get his pad level down. So I'm not sure what's stopping him. I don't know if it's flexibility, what it is, but he needs to fix that because that's the one thing we were screaming about Kinlaw for 4 years. Obviously, I think with Kinlaw, it might have been a knee thing. I don't know. But I mean, Collins is going to have to fix that, or I don't think he's going to play much this year.
I just wonder how much technique he needed to use in college. At 6'6", 330, you probably could just bully people, ragdog people, but you can't do that in the NFL. So that's one. And then two, with Michael, like he has physically nothing in common with Solomon Thomas, but they are kind of similar in the sense that you took these guys really high in the draft, and it's unclear what their position is. Well, he's kind of a DN, but we're going to kick him inside on pass rushing downs and play him a D tackle. Is like, okay, so is he a tweener? Is he a pass rusher? What is he? And you get a guy like that in round 2, you love it. But you get a guy like that with a top 10, 11 pick, it's a little scary because is he really good at anything other than run defense? Don't know. And we're starting to see other guys that Niners could have drafted kind of pop on the O-line, on D-line, other places. So those two are a little concerning. But getting back to round 3, like Nick Martin, the first game was not good. This game, it's like, oh, that's exactly what Robert Saleh was looking for. I see the vision. I think he's going to be good.
Yeah, we talked about it last week. I said with Nick Martin, to me, it reminds me of D Winners last year, or Huff his first year. He's always in the right place, just a little bit off on his angles. To me, what I see from Nick Martin is a super talented guy who just, he improved in 1 week. He improved. So he needs time. I don't know how much time. Maybe by the end of the year, he'll be ready to go. Maybe he needs the whole year. But I can see the talent and the potential. And he's one of the guys that has impressed me. Again, I don't know if he's a week 1 starter, but you could see the potential with Nick Martin, and that's exciting also. I just think he needs time to develop and for the game to slow down a little bit for him so he's not thinking so much.
But didn't it seem to slow down a lot, like in a week?
Yeah.
That's what was so encouraging. Like he was doing way too much and going way too fast in the first game. And then by the second game, it's like, well, you're making plays at the sideline, smacking people, running to the sideline. You made a great play in coverage where you were stride for stride and man-to-man coverage. The guy caught the ball, tried to bring it down. You swatted it away. That was nice. You had a sack. You had a tackle for loss. Like, okay, you made like plays in all kind of different ways. I mean, no offense to D Winters, but I've never seen him do all that stuff in one outing. That's the kind of stuff you used to see. I'm not going to start throwing names around, but that was nice. I really like Nick Martin. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, man, I'm really actually, the Niners, I'm critical of them and analyze them differently per position, really, because the linebacker position with the 49ers is one that I've always just, I don't know if we're spoiled or what it is. It's kind of like left tackle, right? Like they always have a great group of linebackers. And with D Winters and Martin, combined with Fred Warner, and I think playing with Fred Warner is going to really help them. He's like a coach on the field for those guys. Plus, Robert Saleh is a linebacker coach at heart. I think this Winters, Martin, Bethune made a big hit as well. I really less worried. That's one thing I took away from this game is a lot less worried about the linebacker position for the 49ers. I think they got some young talent there.
And another thing is like when they drafted these D linemen, it was kind of controversial. Like, man, you took 3 D linemen to stop the run, and their first round pick is a edge setter. Well, the linebacker's a pass rusher. The nickelback's a pass rusher. I mean, Siegel could be a blitzing pass rusher. Like, I think Kyle Salah's vision for the pass rushes is it's not just a 4-man pass rush anymore. It's not just the D lineman. Like he might rush 4, but he might drop 2 D linemen and take and rush Martin and Stout. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that Mike McDonald's doing in Seattle. Like he's not necessarily bringing 5 and 6, but you don't know which 4 are going to rush, and it could be it could be 8 guys, it could be 9 guys that you have to account for as threats at the line of scrimmage. And I think that's what Salah's trying to establish. Other guys, Jordan Watkins hasn't been able to play much, but you saw what he's been doing in camp. He may not be a complete receiver yet. He has to work in his route running and all that stuff, that the timing and stuff, but he's explosive. He's pretty be a nice complementary option when he's healthy as a rookie.
Yeah, he was one of the guys I said that I was impressed by. Not like overwhelmingly impressed like a couple of these other guys that I still have, but Jordan Watkins, was impressive enough to make a big play with Mac Jones in the first preseason game. Unfortunately, he's unhealthy. I thought Isaiah Hodgins actually played better in this game, and that was good to see that he's actually an option. Russell Gage played okay. I walked away with yesterday feeling a little bit better about the wide receivers than I did in previous games. Ricky Pearsall looked good. So Jordan Watkins is another rookie I think was slightly impressive for me. I definitely want to see more, but overall I thought the wide receivers made me more comfortable yesterday than they did in the week prior.
Yeah, except for Junior Bergen. No offense, but I don't see it with Junior Bergen. He doesn't seem to have a lot of juice as a kick returner, as a punt returner. He made that one guy miss that one time, but he's kind of small as a receiver. He kind of reminds me of like Trent Taylor, but not as good.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I thought that was going to be the case moving forward. I watched his college tape. No offense to Junior Man, but I watched his college tape, and it was
How?
good.
Oh,
What he looked like was he was playing against.
yeah.
He played. What did he play? Montana,
Yeah.
Wyoming.
Yeah. Montana.
He looked like he was playing against guys that had no business,
Yeah.
barely making college, right? He was playing against really inferior opponents. And then I did not think, based on what I saw on his college tape, that they would transfer to the NFL. And it does not seem like that's happening.
Last, Jordan James, I haven't seen him yet. That's too bad. I really was looking forward to seeing him in the preseason. We'll get it. I mean, I'm not writing him off. He has a broken finger. He'll play eventually. He might be really good, but wow, Corey kind of really um, took advantage of the opportunity and showed everything that I think people hope to see from Jordan James until he suffered a high ankle sprain, which is rough. That could be 6 weeks, but still, I feel like that's a guy on a rookie deal. That's a guy who's going to be here for a few years and make an impact.
Yeah, Corey Connor, after last week, I thought he was the best running back on the field. And this week, before he got injured, I felt that way even more so. I mean, he's night and day better than Patrick Taylor. And
Poor
he's just
Patrick Taylor, man.
undrafted free agent, dude. Like
Did you see Patrick Taylor's stat line this game?
was it similar to last 1.7
It was
last week?
worse. It was like 4 carries for -6 yards.
He just, I don't want to beat up on Patrick Taylor, man, but it's just he runs hard. I'll give it that. And
Yep.
to be fair, not a lot of was happening for him. I think there were more opportunities for the other running backs. There was nothing. The blocking game was one of the things that pissed me off about watching the game is just how poor the running game was in the beginning of that game. It's
Yeah.
concerning. Without Trent Williams, there's not much going on there as far as running game. So yeah, I hope Corey Connor's not too injured and he can come back because I think he's so far. I haven't seen Jordan James, but he seems like the best running back that I've been able to see so far.
I just want to shout out one more rookie before we move on. Jacob Robinson, the cornerback from BYU.
Yeah.
I took an interest because just looking like doing the research when they signed him, I'm like, man, this guy 5'10", 4'4", a bunch of production in college and was a captain. Like, what am I missing here? What? Because he was 180 pounds. He's not going to work out at cornerback. Okay, maybe. And in camp, he made a bunch of plays on the ball. People didn't really beat him very much. He was productive. And in preseason so far, I haven't noticed really anyone go after him or have success or even try him. So I don't want to jinx it yet. It might happen, but so far I feel like he's a cornerback with some potential. Jacob Robinson.
I didn't watch him. I was watching Luter, and Luter, they completed a couple passes on Luter, but he was right there. To be fair to him, Chase Lucas continued to just be a freak. That guy came out of nowhere this year. So yeah, I
But is
didn't
it
get to
like
watch.
not noticing a cornerback kind of like
It's a
I mean,
good
you
thing.
never noticed Namdi Asamoah or Rivas. They just were left alone.
Yeah.
Not that this guy's a shutdown corner.
Right, right. I want to
Yeah.
see. I'll focus in more on him.
Yeah.
But I didn't get to do too much of that. And then also in this game, I didn't really get a chance to focus on the O lineman, the rookie O lineman, the guard and the center that they had out there. But a lot of people are telling me they did really well. I just didn't. I can't. You can only watch so much in one
That's
sitting.
true. That's a good point. We should talk about them. Connor Colby, he's like might be starting at left guard now. He looks like he fits the Niners run game, but I don't think he can really anchor particularly well. I think that showed up in his college tape and in the one-on-ones and in camp. Um, Drew Moss is interesting to me. I mean, as soon as we found out that he was dating Brock Lesnar's daughter, I think that should have been a sign that he has that dog in him. And I
Is that
think it's
really what's
yeah.
happened? That's a
Oh
fact.
yeah, absolutely. Uh-huh. Drew Moss. So he's got that dog in him. He's playing right guard, and he's very physical. He's interesting. He's like the Corey Kiner of the offensive line.
Well, if they end up getting married and having children, those are going to be some athletic ass kids because that
Yeah,
she is like a champ, like what is she, like Olympic discus or shot
yeah.
putter or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, um, yeah, man. I'm excited. Honestly, if you think about all the rookies that we've haven't been able to see, and yet there's still a number of them that are impressing already without even seeing a ton of guys. I think that
Yeah.
speaks well to the
And
draft.
if you think that the Niners Super Bowl window is closed because it kind of sounds like they think it's closed, the reopening of it depends on these guys, these young guys. I mean, you've already
Yeah,
paid Brock Purdy. You already know what you're going to get from Brock Purdy and Nick Bosa. And like, that's not really they're not going to give you more than what you're paying for. You can get it from these rookies, though, for the next few years. That's a big reason the Eagles are so good because after paying all those guys, now they have Jalen Carter and Cooper DeJean and other players on rookie deals. Dangerous Dave says, two of the greatest. I should be in the Bay next week. Let's get that lemonade, baby. Joseph Ernberg says, should we start to be worried about Stout's calf? Absolutely. Every day that, and what about Yeturgos Matos' knee? He hasn't practiced one time this offseason, not once. Is he going to pull Andre Dillard, get activated, practice twice, and go down? Or like, what's up with him? Does he matter?
I'm worried
Were you
about
able to sit
all
next to
these
Lombardi?
injuries. Yeah.
No, thank goodness I didn't have to. You guys see Lance with the QB2 job last night. We're going to talk about that. 92 million gets absolutely trucked by Genty. Oh, that was not the best offseason for Lenore, but that's still my guy.
Hey,
Not my
Lenore
guy.
had good coverage last night, man. And
He did.
I want people to like this bothers me a little bit about football where if you get trucked, like you suck or something. It's part of football, man. Like
Yeah.
every player in the NFL has been trucked. Everyone probably. So it happens, but his coverage was really good. I was impressed
You can
with his
see, though,
coverage.
why Salah wants to move him to the outside. Like, Stout's not going to get trucked there.
I mean, even Malik got trucked by Patrick Mahomes because he was off
That is
balance. Like
true.
he pulled off,
Yeah.
as he's crossing the end zone, didn't expect the contact. So it happens, but it doesn't mean like it's not like a big deal. I think Demo's coverage was great.
Dangerous Dave says, why Moody get more chances than first round Trey? That's a good question. Marcus Ralph says, tell Julian to stop watching Cyrax, please. Okay. Let's all chill. The Raiders secondary is horrible, says Lamont. All right. What is the biggest positives from the preseason so far, in your opinion? And these are not rookie related.
The biggest positives, not rookie related. It's hard to have a positive that's not rookie related. I think if we're not going rookie related, I would say the relationship I'm seeing between Brock and Ricky Pearsall. If we're not doing rookies, I think Ricky is playing at a level close to his draft status right now. From what I've seen so far, it hasn't been a ton, but it looks like they have a really good relationship. I was watching the build because the Niners are building again. And the relationship that they have off the field, like as far as communication between Brock and Ricky, they're going to need that. If they want any level of success, Ricky's going to have to be an actual dude in the absence of Brandon Ayuk. And Brock and him are going to have a good relationship because I feel like Ricky's going to be leading in targets this year. If not Kittle, this might be a year where Kittle actually leads in targets. I think he's done it once in his career, and it might happen again. But I really think that's going to be extremely important for the season, and it looks like based on the small sample size that we had, it's working out. They got good chemistry.
Pearsall's a big positive, and I think this was a matchup that highlights his strengths. If you play some soft zone coverage and sort of allow receivers to get free releases into your secondary and run around uncovered, and you're just trying to like get to them before they get to the ball, like he's going to eat you up. He's very explosive. He moves very well. He's super fast. He moves better than Ayuk ever moved. I'm not saying he's better than Ayuk. Just if you give him a free release, you're cooked. And he kept doing it to them. If you press him at the line of scrimmage and try to play man-to-man coverage and you have a really good cornerback, which not a lot of teams do, I mean, he's going to struggle like a lot of wide receivers will struggle. So I don't know if he's truly like, a future all-pro wide receiver, which is what he looked like in this game. I don't know. But on this team, he's going to be a nice addition. I think they were kind of slow last year. They need his speed and explosion. He's stretching the field. Watkins can do that too. Just like one big positive for the entire passing game from Brock, he looks really good, to all the different options. Kittle, Pearsall, Robinson's a nice addition. McCaffrey will be out there. Ayuk come back eventually. Like, they should be able to pass the ball pretty freaking well. They've put a lot of money and resources into that aspect of their team.
Yeah, I mean, they were not able to run the ball against the Raiders early on, and they just went straight to the passing game and had a ton of success at it. I thought that was great. I imagine we're going to see Ricky Pearsall in motion quite a bit this year.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be he'll be in motion probably more than any other player on this team this coming season, and that'll help him get open and put him in those situations that you're talking about. So I do agree. Like, Brock looked good also. And there's a clear difference between Brock Purdy and Mac Jones. Like, it's just his confidence. That you can just see the complete understanding of the offense, what he should be doing, decision making. I was impressed with the brief 11 snaps that we saw from Brock Purdy.
Also, like, Brock has this quick twitch that Mac doesn't have. And Mac processes well, and he was 13-6. Like, I like Mac, but Brock Purdy's quickness, his 10-yard burst, his elusiveness, his release, it's just a little bit faster than Mac in every way. And I feel like a top level quarterback, a top 15, top 10 quarterback has to have that in today's NFL. And as Mac can maximize his skill set eventually, and he still will never have that. And I think it'll hold him back from being, Brock Purdy.
Yeah, man. And I'm impressed with Brock so far on a small sample size we got from him. It's encouraging. And I like that they were able to move the ball in a passing game with Ricky Pearsall. I mean, it is against the Raiders. You got to keep that in mind, as Seattle is going to be a much tougher opponent for these guys. But it was encouraging. No CMC out there, really. No Trent out there. And they were still able to move the ball. They got to punch it in. The red zone was a big issue for the 49ers last year. I'm hoping that improves. Maybe it's just the Christian effect. We'll fix that this coming season, but that's going to be something we see, and it's going to have to happen a lot in the passing game, I believe. So encouraged by Brock Purdy and Ricky Pearsall. That's one of the biggest positives from this preseason so far for me.
Last one, I think the defense is showing some real depth. I mean, who the hell is Chase Lucas? Where did you come from? Where did you go? Cotton Eye Joe. Like, I mean, what a find. Chase freaking Lucas. And then beyond Nick Martin and D winners like Tatum Bethune is having a really good preseason. Jacob Robinson might be something. Dallas Flowers might be something. It seems like they actually do have a little bit of depth on defense. Not sure about the offense. We'll see about that. And then I'm not going to say anything definitive about the special teams yet. We're going to get to the special teams in a little bit. What's the biggest concern for you right now, other than injuries? We're going to talk about injuries later. Yeah. That's obviously always a concern, but anything else?
I mean, injuries is the biggest concern, obviously, but I think it's the run game on offense. They haven't looked amazing running the ball offensively, which is a little bit of surprise. Maybe it's because they're coming out pretty vanilla. Maybe it's just because Trent's not out there, but the running game has not been anything where you'd want it to be. And that has to be fixed ASAP, and it has to be ready for week 1 because Seattle's defense is going to give them a tough time there. And you got to be balanced. I don't think as good as the passing game has looked in preseason, it's just preseason. And if the 49ers have to rely 100% on the passing game, it's going to be a long season.
You better play the Raiders.
Yeah.
I think this is really what highlights like the importance of Trent Williams. If
Yeah.
they don't have Trent Williams for a week, for a quarter, they're not running the ball. You're not running left. You're not running right. We're not running the ball. And you do have a really good quarterback and some really good receivers at every position, but you're going to be one dimensional. And you guys are just not built to win that way from your pass protection to your playbook to your coach, your play caller. Nah, I just don't think you're built to, unless you're playing the Raiders. So that is a concern. What's up with the running game? When Trent Williams is out there, will it work? We'll see. I mean, Banks is gone. They were really dominant running to the left. Now it's going to be Ben Barch allegedly, although he can't go 2 weeks without getting injured. So what does that combo block look like? If it's Connor Colby, what does that look like? Can they get Drew Moss over on the left? They have some things to answer for, and they've never really had good pass protection. They've been able to work around it. They need good run blocking. I don't know if this is a running back issue. It shouldn't be a running back. When McCaffrey's out there, he'll be good, even if he's not what he was 3 years ago. But what's up with the run blocking?
Yeah, if there's no holes for him to run through, it doesn't matter how good you are as a running back. You're going to struggle. I don't know, man. I feel like a broken record here where it's the offensive line, man. Like they've either gotten lucky. Like it looks like maybe with a couple of these rookies that look okay, but I'm not sure they're dogs. And Puna, I don't understand the point of playing Puna in a freaking field goal team in a preseason game. Dumb, just stupid, even in a regular season game. And if he's out, man, like it's hard.
You know what's crazy though? Like if you watch that play, like McKivitz is out there, Brendel is out there. It's like, yo, that's scary, man. In a preseason, you guys didn't have any backups. Are you guys that beat up and thin that you had to throw all your starting offensive linemen out there? Like, damn. Well, too bad that happened.
They have 4 injured running backs, correct? 4.
And they haven't even played a third preseason game yet. Like, how does that happen?
Yeah, anyway. Man. I mean, it's hard not to bring up injuries when we're talking concerns because that's the biggest one for me. But yeah, the run game.
Well, then let's transition into it right now. Okay, They got injuries, man. They got like 20 injured players. They wanted to have a good training camp. It just hasn't really worked out that way. I mean, some guys are getting good work, but it's been like code blue over here. If the Niners drop a few games at the beginning of the season that they should win because some key players are out or a lot of players are out, and they end up going 9-8 and missing the playoffs, do they get to use the injury excuse this year?
I mean, people throw it out there, but I don't care about injury excuses anymore. This is year 9 for Kyle Shanahan. This has become a problem. I think he's had one season where they were good. It's low on the injury list. The rest of they've always been in top 10 in injuries. So there's something going on there in Santa Clara. I don't know what it is. I don't know training staff, coaching staff, the way they do practices, the way they draft. I don't know what it is, but it's insane. But at this point, not year 9, I don't have any excuses. Like outside of maybe Brock Purdy, I really don't want to hear any excuses from anybody. Like figure it out, and this may not be the season anyways, right? Like if they don't win the Super Bowl, I will not be surprised at all. Like that's my expectations that hopefully I'm hoping they get to the playoffs and compete a little bit, maybe win the game or something like that. That's my hopes for this season. So like, there won't be an excuse needed if they don't win the Super Bowl because that's not my expectation. But if they completely collapse and fall apart with this schedule in year 9 for Kyle Shanahan, I really don't care about injuries. All teams face it, and whatever is causing it, it's obviously something that they're doing wrong in Santa Clara because it's just too much of a coincidence for it to be, some obscure coincidence.
Here's what I don't like about the discourse about this injury stuff. I feel like Kyle Shanahan's defenders, and there's a lot of them, feel like this is out of his control. That this is just the good luck, bad luck random portion of football. It's a collision sport. And that everything that Kyle Shanahan can control, he does a great job with. And when you try to point out stuff like, hey, the injuries are happening again, and you try to say like, well, it seems like maybe their practices are shorter. Maybe they're skimping on the warm-up. Maybe they could do and people be like, no, that's not true. He's doing everything right. And it's like so quick to defend what he's doing while not without acknowledging that what he's doing isn't working. And ultimately, if it's his fault and it's something with his program or his scheduling, or he's just inherently unlucky, it's his fault. And if they have more injuries this year, then blame it on luck. It's his luck. It's every year. And maybe they should bring in someone who has better injury luck. That's what I would say. It's his fault one way or another.
They have to be. Let me read this off. This is from Warren Sharp. Okay. 49ers health by season. We're going to start in 2018. 2018, Niners, fourth most injured. 2019, sixth most injured. 2020, first most injured. 2021, third most injured. 22, ninth most injured. The one good year, 23, 29th most injured. And then 24, first most injured. And here we are in 2025, starting off on that same route. They've been top 9 in 7 of these years so far. They've been top 9 in 7 of the years. They've only had one bottom. There's something going on. And I don't know what it is. I'm not in the building enough to understand it. But if you are top 10, top 9 in injuries every single year, except for one, there's something wrong with what you're doing. Whether it's I don't know. I don't know, but there's something going on there.
All I know is that training camp is supposed to be about more than just installing your offense and defense. It's also supposed to be about building up a callus. That's what old school football coaches used to talk about. Jim Harbaugh, Pete Carroll. It's a collision sport, and you need to prepare your bodies for these 50 collisions you're going to have per week in these games. And so the more collisions and the more contact and the more physicality you can actually simulate in practice, the better. And it's just not something the Niners under Kyle Shanahan do. Maybe it's a Sean McVay thing too. Maybe it's these younger coaches. They think that's an old school way of going about it. But I mean, maybe there's certain merits to the way Kyle Shanahan goes about his training camp, but it seems like there's also some drawbacks. And you see it when these players get hit early in preseason. It's like they go down because maybe they haven't gotten hit yet and they don't have that quote unquote callus, if that even is a real thing.
Man, it's hard to put my finger on it, man. Like, I really don't understand because, I'm not there enough. You're there more. So I trust your judgment on this stuff more than mine. But I mean, if you're top 9 in injury every single year, you're doing something wrong. You need to change something. You need to at least try to change something. If it's just
change everything, the players you go after, you're trained everything. Because it seems to be football is a very simple. I mean, it's not a very simple sport, but it's about toughness. It's about tough. I didn't play football, but it's essentially about toughness. And if your team is the one that's always hurt, then I'm sorry, there's a word for that. Fragile is the nice word. The not so nice word starts with S, and it's a 4-letter word. And that's what you end up being if you're not building up that toughness and callous. So, like, do you really want to be the team that's breaking down and fragile every year? But when they're all together for those few weeks, it really looks beautiful.
And what's crazy? Statistically, the younger the player, the less likely they are to get injured. And so I thought this was an age thing for the 49ers. But even the young guys are hurt.
Most of the rookies are hurt.
I don't understand it. I don't know, but it's got to be like, if I'm the Niners,
here's what bothers me the most about it. It's like, so it's every year, and we ask like, well, what are you going to do different? And his attitude pretty much seems to be, nothing I can do different. This is fluky. This is fluky stuff that's out of my control. Man, you should be changing everything. You should probably have a new trainer, maybe a whole new schedule, longer practices, shorter practices. Like, you got to mess with every variable until you find the right answer, because just doing everything the same isn't working.
Yeah, man, I think there's 2 things that just frustrate the heck out of me with this team. And one is just the lack of focus on offensive line, and 2, it's the injuries. So if you're in Santa Clara and you're, an executive there, or your GM, or your Kyle Shanahan or Jed York, that's got to be your thing right now. It's like, how can we improve this offensive line? How can we reduce injuries? Because those are our 2 biggest problems.
I spend all this money on these players, on this facility, on this training staff, on these coaching staff, and a quarter of the roster is injured at any given time. What is going on? I would want a solution to that. Lamont 757 says Kyle gotta go. He won't learn. Last game he used a tight end to block a DN. Even announcer said that wasn't smart. Then he gets Purdy hurt. Our plays suck, bro. Hashtag Jimmy Garoppolo. BRAD46 says Demo didn't just get trucked. He got burned. Geno just overthrew the target.
Well, he got hit he got trucked too, to be honest. I like
He did
Demo,
get
but he
trucked.
did get ran over.
Yeah.
I thought his coverage was all right.
So no one saw Matt grab his knee after a hit. I didn't see that. No.
Mm-mm.
You think the Niners start 7 rookies week 1?
Yeah.
I can see that. Gotta show love to Stetson Bennett, ice in his veins. He looked very Purdy-esque in the preseason, man. Got that quickness, little moxie, got some experience, kind of small, not a strong arm, but fits the system.
Mhm.
Wears 13. Kind of looks like Howdy Doody. I'm just saying, they have some things in common.
If you're a
But
superstitious
Ryan,
person, number 13 is not the number you want to roll with. Maybe this injury's on Brock wearing number 13. Maybe that's what it is.
it's possible, man. Today is the last day that my channel is sponsored by the Happiness Project. So I just want to throw it out there. The Happiness Experiment. What if everything you've been taught about happiness is wrong? We chase careers, approval, more stuff, hoping it will finally make us feel fulfilled, but it never sticks. What if happiness isn't out there, but already inside you, just waiting to be unlocked? Discover the book, The Happiness Experiment. Every person has a unique happiness type, and when you understand yours, everything shifts. You'll stop chasing and start creating joy on your own terms. Discover your happiness type with a free happiness type assessment. Go to myhappinnesstype.com. That's myhappinnesstype.com. It takes just a minute and it might change your life. Then grab your copy of The Happiness Experiment at Books A Million. This isn't just a book, it's a practical framework, a journey inward. It's a tool to help you reconnect with the happiness that's been waiting inside you all along. Pick up The Happiness Experiment and start your happiness experiment today. On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you right now?
12.
I'm a 17. Okay.
Damn, you beat
You
me.
know why? Because Jake
Yeah.
Moody made that kick last night, man. I was
Oh.
really pulling for him. Everyone wants to talk crap about Jake Moody, not me. Jake's a good guy. I've always believed in him, man. He's a talented kicker. So are you ready to apologize to Jake? No, I'm just kidding. Do you feel like making 5 out of 6 kicks in a preseason game and a 59-yarder to quote unquote win the game that didn't count redeems him?
No. Redeems? No. I will say his first kick, awful. Second kick, barely made it from 26 yards. I was ready to cut him at that moment. And then he goes on a run where he's, looking good as a kicker. For me, kicking is so mental. I mean, for everybody, not just me, but that's what it is. Kicking is mental. Like, you need to be in tune with your psychology as a kicker. Like, you need to be confident, never judging it. You can't even think that you're ever going to miss. And it was a good kick, that 59-yarder, but nah, man. I feel like once you lose confidence in a kicker, your kicker lose confidence in himself. You both need a fresh start. Not saying that Moody can't go somewhere else and be good. Not saying that he can't stay here. And after, a year, 2, 3 years more, turn into the kicker that they drafted him to be. Janikowski was the same way in Oakland. That ended up working out great for him. I just don't want to risk it. Me personally, I'd rather get a guy with no history here who doesn't have these confidence issues and not risk it, because I feel like Moody's going to lose a game or two this year for the 49ers.
It's funny. Some people say that Moody never had confidence issues. He just injured his ankle last year. I don't buy that. I think this is a guy who borderline has the yips at times. And I think it shows up in every game he plays. I think it showed up last night. I think it's wonderful that he made those kicks at the end. But personally, I'm not more confident in Moody because of yesterday. Maybe I'm wrong though. I mean, maybe he'll end up being great for the Niners, but just because he did what he did yesterday, it was still kind of a shaky performance. And I feel like he's gonna burn him. And I almost feel like it would have been better for the Niners if he had just missed that kick last night so that they could move on instead of having to wait for him to miss one in the regular season to learn what they already know.
How many attempts did he had? 6 attempts, right?
6, and he made 5 of them. God love him.
All right. So first of all, I mean, good for him for getting practice. Also, why are we kicking 6 field goals? That's another issue that we shouldn't be kicking 6 freaking field goals. And if this was a normal game where maybe he had 2 or 3 attempts, then he's like, 2 for 3 with a shady one, like 1.5 for 3, right? Like, good for him that he got the practice. But Niners, stop kicking so many damn field goals, especially when Jake Moody as your kicker. You could tell Kyle wanted to avoid it towards the after he missed that second one. After he made the first one and missed that second one, you could tell Kyle was trying to like avoid putting them out there, but penalties kept putting them in a position. By the way, Prince, whoever this Prince guy is, stop freaking getting penalties. Just dude, you're trying to make this team get your head together. But if it wasn't for the penalties, I don't think Kyle was even trying to give him another opportunity. And if Moody, I swear, man, if Moody didn't get 3 more kicks, he probably would have been cut.
Yeah, so that was a team effort to get him. It feels like that his teammates are pulling for him. I mean, he seems probably like a good guy, and he's going through a tough time. So they like carried him off the field, and they were all happy for him.
Yeah,
which is easy to do in preseason, honestly. Like when the game doesn't count and he's having a tough time, I'm sure everyone's like, "Come on, man, this is rough. Go out and do well for yourself." Because you're kicking for yourself. Like there's pressure on these kicks, but the pressure is if I miss another one, my career is over, at least with the 49ers. So that's real pressure. But then in 3 weeks, that pressure will still be there every single kick, but there'll be the added pressure of like, well, this actually matters. And if I miss this, we lose. The team loses. And my teammates won't like me. So I think there's a whole different layer of pressure that goes on when in 3 weeks. And that's my question with Jake. We know he has like talent. We know he can kick it really far, but does he have the yips? Do you really trust him when it really matters? Like I don't. And I think that's a tough place to be if you don't have a kicker you can really trust.
Here's the problem. The standard, the required performance for the season for Jake Moody and his confidence, as well as the team and their belief in him, is excellence every single week, because now you build up a reputation for yourself. And the only way to get over that reputation is by changing it with excellence on the field. And so he's going to be demanding excellence in his head every single time he's out there. The Niners are going to be looking at him under a microscope. And I just feel like that's not conducive to good, healthy, confident sports psychology. Like I feel like he needs a fresh start.
I feel like Moody should have really like flexed on everyone after that 59-yarder. If he'd done that, I would have felt different. But he seemed as surprised as us. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Last topic, and then we'll go. So Mac Jones is trying to resurrect his career with the Niners. Trey Lance trying to resurrect his career with the Chargers. Mac has played 2 preseason games. Trey has played 3. Here are their numbers. Trey Lance, 27 of 49, 55% completion percentage, 296 yards, 6 yards per attempt, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 3 sacks, 14 carries, 81 yards, 5.8 yards per carry, 1 touchdown run. Mac Jones, 17 to 23, 73.9% completion percentage, 209 yards, 9.1 yards per attempt, no touchdowns, 2 picks, 2 sacks, and 6 rushing yards on 4 carries. Who do you think is doing better?
I mean, Trey Lance. I mean, he's got to be. I mean, he's running 81 yards on 14 carries, showing that he's effective as a scrambler, not a running quarterback, a scrambler, which is what Kyle should have had him doing from the beginning, which is what I said the whole time. Yes, he was a running quarterback in college. That was never going to translate in the NFL. I could see it from a mile away. Jim Harbaugh seems to be using him the right way. That pass that he threw down the sideline at 45 yards in the air, perfectly on target, right over the shoulder. Couldn't have placed the ball any better than that. I'm really happy for Trey Lance, man. It's good to see him having some kind of success. We'll see what if it means anything for his career. Mac Jones, that interception last night, that was pretty bad interception last night. The one in the prior game was maybe a route thing, but that one was pretty bad. Other than that, though, Mac seems to be pretty on target, kind of a dink and dunker, though, I would say. Like he just takes the easy play, so his completion percentage is high, but he's not really pushing himself. When I look at Mac Jones, I see a guy that's, he could probably start in the NFL and be a bottom 10, 15 quarterback. He's a good backup. With Trey, you could see a guy that could potentially become a really good starter in the future after experience, right? Like you think with Trey Lance, you see an uptick. With Mac Jones, he looks like Mac Jones to me. Kind of a not very mobile. He has a good arm. He'll take the easy play and he'll complete a high percentage of passes, but also throw interceptions, which is kind of what he's done pretty much throughout his career.
I like his accuracy. I like his arm. I liked his deep ball in the first preseason game. I think he processes well and usually takes what the defense gives him. The interception yesterday was like you said, bad. And it felt like it's not the kind of stuff he's been doing in practice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he feels like he needs to take it up a notch in games and impress people or what, but like, man, just keep dinking and dunking because that ain't it. And yeah, it's interesting. Like Brock will make that mistake in the practice, and then in the game, he hasn't done that yet. He hasn't done it in a while. Max seems to be the opposite, like trying to do a little too much. And what I like about what Trey's doing so far, like his completion percentage isn't great, but okay, he hasn't turned the ball over one time yet. He's playing winning football. He's leading the team up and down the field. He's learning how to play football the right way. And Mac Jones is learning how to like operate the system, but he still isn't quite playing football the right way yet. And if Brock goes down for a game or two and Mac plays like this, they'll lose and he won't go anywhere. His career won't go anywhere. So he still needs to figure it out.
With Mac Jones, the thing is, in his style of quarterback play, you have to be an elite passer, an elite processor. He has a good arm, but if you're not going to be mobile, you have to make up for it, right? Like the only quarterbacks that aren't mobile are really good at the other stuff, right? Like the Goffs right now, or in the past, Brady, obviously, people like that. If you're not mobile, you have to make up for it with some being elite at something else. And I think he's really good. I think he has a good arm. I think he's good processor, good accuracy. I just don't know if he's like so good that he can make up
Right.
for his lack of mobility to be a really good quarterback in this league. Like, I don't think there's anything he could ever do to become like a top 15 or even top 20 quarterback in the NFL. I just don't see that.
Yeah, I don't know. I still feel maybe I'm tripping, but I still feel that he could do what Goff does. If you put him in the perfect situation like Goff was in last year, that he could do a lot of what Goff does. His arm is about as good. His process is about as well. He's not quite as big, but he might even be a little bit more mobile than Goff, but not, significantly. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. We're seeing him play with backups against backups, and it's okay. I wonder what he would look like with the Niners starters and a full game plan and a full week to prepare. But hopefully we'll never see that.
I think he'd be okay, not as good as Brock. And
Yeah.
I honestly, there's a poll that just came out about, not a poll. It was, I forget who runs it. They asked 50 either executives or head coaches or scouts or GMs in the NFL where you rank quarterbacks. They had Brock ranked 14th. For me, I had Brock somewhere between 9 and 14, somewhere in there. I think anywhere after like 8 or 9, you can make an argument for him or somebody else. So 8 or 9 to 14. That's where I had him. So let's say that they're right. Let's say the NFL GMs, coaches, executives are right about Brock Purdy, that he's the 14th best quarterback in the NFL. He's way better than Mac Jones. So what does that mean for Mac Jones? It just, to me, he's bottom level starter, top tier backup, I think is what I see I got to defend my boy Jared Goff, dude. Jared Goff has been one of the most consistent quarterbacks in the NFL statistically over the last 5 years.
Well, he
So
did
I'm
get
not
to
really,
play for Sean McVay and Ben Johnson.
and that's true. Like, we haven't seen Mac in that situation, so that's fair.
I'm
But
a certified Mac Jones stan just because I've watched him for 3 weeks in camp. It is what it is.
you
So
call
I'm
him
not
Mac
going to
10
let you
when you
sit
see him?
here. What's that?
When you see him, do you call him Mac 10? What's up, Mac 10?
What's up, Mac 10? Ricky Williams 980 says Collins needs a redshirt year. I know he needs to play, but we should definitely get a DT and edge. Yesterday seems like foreshadowing of the year. Oh, he's going to play. He is going to play. I am going to Orange Theory and try to not fall
Get it
if
in.
I can. Ryan,
I'm
this
gonna
has
play.
been great.
I'm
I
gonna
like
play
doing a
pickleball.
Sunday show with you.
I'm playing a pickleball.
Oh
Yeah,
man, that's
yeah. Me and
yeah.
my wife versus my sons and all their girlfriends. We have like tournaments.
Oh, that sounds like fun. How long you been doing that?
for like 2-3 weeks now. Yeah.
Are you good?
No.
No.
I got
All
skills.
right.
I'm just not as mobile as them. They're pretty athletic dudes.
No, you're like the Mac Jones of pickleballers. And everyone, that's our show. Thanks for watching.